2016 Jones County Junior College football signee, I guess press conference would call it. We're going to discuss a few things here today. We're sitting by a happy man, I think, this morning, head coach Steve Buckley. We're going to be joined by a number of the assistant coaches as well. It's been a long process, a very fast process for this coaching staff. That's some of the things we're going to talk about, but it's a very happy man with the signees that have come in today to be a Bobcat next year. As of right now, it's about 33 that I have on my list. I think we've blown the fax machine up. It's backed up, waiting for a few to come through. But I know, Coach Buckley, you got to be pleased with the people you've gotten so far. Before we talk about them, discuss a little bit. You've been on the job for 2 months, hit the ground running literally, and haven't slowed down in those 2 months recruiting. And that work is paying dividends this morning.
Well, Mark, I think you're right. You look at, you said it earlier, it was a speedy process, and for some people 2 months is a long time, but in the recruiting world, it's a very short time. Recruiting nowadays has turned into a 2-year process. You start building relationships, start getting to know kids, targeting kids as their sophomore year, and we've kind of jumped in, taken the list that was already on hand when we got here, and just tried to continue to build those relationships, get into high schools, get to know families, and see what we can come with on signing day.
And from the looks of the young men that have signed this morning, those relationships were maintained and built, maybe made even stronger.
Absolutely, and that's part of it. When you talk about recruiting, the main thing that we talk about it is relationships, and not only relationships with the kid, but there's always somebody in that kid's life that's going to be a factor in this deal. High school coaches, principals, teachers, whoever it may be, and that's the thing that we've tried to do: go in and re-solidify those situations and from those commitment stuff that were already made, and then get on our own guys.
We will talk about some of these individuals a little bit later on, but it's a good mix of in-district and out-of-district kids from all over the state, some out-of-states that came in at Christmas, some reverse transfers. So we had got a few that's already on campus now too.
Well, and talk about the process a little bit. When we came in, Mark, I guess we got the job on December the 3rd, and the staff, Chip Bilderback and Anthony Maddox, were in place, and we kind of sat down with our new staff, and we went through the board of probably 100 names. We reevaluated and put our rankings on them. We evaluated the current roster as well as we could, and let's face the facts. We're dealing with a 55-man roster, and not everybody understands the rules of the junior college system. And you can have 55 kids on your roster at one time. So it was very important to us to find, number one, the right kind of kid. And when I say kind of kid, character comes first. Right. And you're talking about a developmental stage. You're not talking about a 4-year development. High school, you got 4 years to develop a kid. That's 9th grade through 12th grade. Division I, you got 4 years to develop kids. That's their freshman year through their senior year. But at our level, you got 2 years to develop. And one of the things that we've talked hard about is the developmental process. What are we developing? We're developing academics, number one. These kids are here for a reason. They weren't recruited. Okay, they were under-evaluated, not recruited. Number two, they transferred from a 4-year school. For number three, there were some academic issues, and those are the things that we wanted to address in the beginning. But when you talk about academic development, that is a huge part of what we're doing here. And when I go into a home, when I talk to coaches, our whole staff, we talk about academic development first. The second is social development. I think kids 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, even 21, they're still developing socially. And then third, athletically. And when you talk about athletic development, you talk about our strength program, our strength coach, our staff, which has done a tremendous job. And those are the areas of development we talked about.
And we talk about developing relationships with the players and their families and their high school coaches and principals, but got a good crowd here for this today, and developing the relationship with the community here as well, because the support system, the roots run deep, doesn't it?
No question, and I can't apologize for saying this. I haven't been able to get out like I'm planning on here in the next few weeks. When you say hit the ground running, we literally did that. We haven't done a great job getting to know the kids that are here because we've been on the road. I've literally logged over 9,000 miles in probably a 6-week period because we had a 2-week dead period. And that's part of it. And it's been a lot of long days, a lot of long nights trying to see everybody. And you can have 4 coaches on the road, and we hadn't gone without a day without having 4 coaches on the road.
Yeah, I see the tired look in your eyes, but it's been work.
I don't know if that's age or tired.
Little both. Little both. Offense, defense, looking at the numbers, pretty much split there out of the 33 I have listed here, 18 on the defensive side, 15 on the offensive side. You talked about evaluating the players that were here, hadn't had really a good chance to do that, looking at film and talking with them, but go through the process of what you're looking for. You said you're looking for the players, obviously got to come in and play pretty much right away because you don't have time to develop them.
You don't, and I'll be honest about this, the first thing we're looking for, kids of character. And, we sell this all the time. We're looking for character kids, but do we back it up?
Right.
I tell kids all the time, from an NFL standpoint, when a pro scout walks in our office at the Division I level, the first question he asks is, what kind of kid is he? When I was a Division I recruiter, the first thing I asked a coach, counselor, principal, whoever, what kind of kid is he character-wise? And we've done the same thing here. I think sometimes junior colleges and community colleges get bad labels. And, do we take chances on kids sometimes? Absolutely, because kids deserve second chances at every level. But at the same time, character is very important to what we're trying to do here.
Right. And that is a big part of the game with the social media and everything. It's the way the generation is now and how information gets out there. It's more and more in the headline from the pro level all the way down to high school level, the character of the players, and there's really no room for kids with bad character anymore.
No question, and it's something that we've got to do a thorough job evaluating. And I'm checking my phone because I'm still waiting on 6 kids to do something. No, character is huge, and academics are huge. Are they capable of progressing academically? And then you get into the athletic part. That's the easy part. We can tell whether kids can play or not.
Yeah.
Most people that watch and keep up with sports can tell whether a kid's an athlete or not. And that is important, but that is probably not the most important thing.
All right, before we let head coach Steve Buckley step aside or bring up another coach, let's talk about the 5 guys we've got here right now. I know one of the big ones obviously started as a freshman, 9 games at Georgia, from East Marion, Jonathan Abram.
Yeah, Jonathan contacted us in mid-December about maybe transferring here. He had gone through a coaching change at the University of Georgia, which happens a lot of times in this profession. And great character kid, number 1, had a 3.3 GPA. His first semester at Georgia, started 9 games as a true freshman. Dominant player. We feel like he can play corner or either one of the safety positions. Jonathan's a physical player. He could probably play linebacker even. And another thing that kind of gets me a little excited about Jonathan, he played quarterback in high school. So you're looking at a dual threat quarterback there that has a number of different options that you could use him as.
Right. Also on the DB out of University of Ohio, Mr. Williams.
Deontay Williams. Deontay actually is from Jacksonville, Florida. Deontay was a Florida commitment. He committed to the University of Florida last year. Did not report there. The staff previously, Coach Maddox in particular, had built a relationship with him. We think he is a dynamic player, probably one of the most physical players I've seen at the high school level in a long time. Has a chance to be a professional football player one day if he continues to progress.
On the defensive line, got some guys, one guy especially, he'll barely fit through the door there, Javon Kinlaw.
Javon Kinlaw, 6'7", 200, he got here, he weighed 278, he weighs 294 right now.
That cafeteria food to get you every time.
Every time I put on about 8 when I've been around. But no, Javon is another kid that's been a great kid since he's been here. Came in at midterm. It was a University of South Carolina commitment. We're trying to get him through this system here, get the adjustment coming straight out of high school. But tremendous upside here. We don't know if he's going to end up inside as a 3 technique on defense. We signed him and took him as a defensive end, but he could end up growing into an inside player.
Marcus Ford, Rutgers transfer.
Marcus transferred in. He contacted us in December also, 6'4", about 238 now. Great explosive kid, Under Armour All-American game participant. Javon also played in the Army All-American Bowl this past year. But Marcus played in the Under Armour All-American game in Florida a year ago. Signed with Rutgers, was not happy with some things there, coaching change-wise, and wanted to come and get recruited over. So we welcomed him in December also.
Then had an early graduate from Long Beach, wide receiver Trevor Terry, good-looking kid.
Great kid, good-looking kid, very long receiver, probably 6'1". Mm-hmm. I think Trevor's another one that's gained about 10 pounds in the first 4 weeks he's been here. But great upside here, tremendous hands, great route runner, and great kid.
All right, we'll take a short break. We're going to bring up Coach Chip Bilderback, I think, and speak with him a few minutes. As we take this, we'll go to blackout. We'll have a few graphics for you. Tyler Cook, directing and producing the program here today on JCJC TV. We'll be back right after this break. Welcome back to the the 2016 Bobcat Recruiting Special. I'm being joined now by Coach Chip Bilderback and Coach Richard Chambliss. Richard, you were a student assistant at USM last year. 2 months here at Jones, or less than 2 months. Been pretty busy for you, hasn't it?
Yes, sir, definitely. It's been fun, though.
All right, secondary coach, assistant secondary coach,
Right.
Chip.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about the responsibilities, and we'll get into the recruiting process in just a second. But
Rich is one I've known for about a year now, and he's going to be really good with our secondary guys. That's what he worked with at Southern the last couple years, and so we're going to just tag team together, and we're going to knock out the secondary together.
And y'all were recruiting along the coast.
Yes, we did. My primary area was the coast, and then we kind of picked up with positions as well. The one thing about Coach Buckley that he's really been big on is we're all recruiting.
Yeah.
And it's not just one coach is recruiting one player. It's the whole team of our coaches is recruiting these players. And I think that's really benefited us on our signing class.
Talk about the signing class. A couple of these guys here that I see, I'm sort of familiar with through their high schools at Petal, Terry, Collins, Perry Central, local guys here. A.J. Bracey out of Terry. Great athlete, I remember
Yes,
him.
he is. And the thing about A.J., he's a natural corner. He's going to have played in the 6A level. We're excited about him. He's going to be ready to come in and compete for a job on the day he reports because he's faced those spread offenses like we face week in and week out.
Another 6A guy, Tyreek Moody from Petal.
Tyreek is really, to me, he's probably the most flexible out of the guys we signed. He played corner as a junior at Petal. Then this past year he played safety. He was able to drop down in the box. He's a very physical player. And once again, coming from the 6A level, he's faced spread week in and week out the players that we'll be going against.
Athlete from Collins, Derek Hawthorne.
Oh man, Derek is just a competitor. You know, he's won 2 state championships the last 2 years. His brother also signed with us as well. But Derek is one that he's physical, and we expect him to come in as safety, be able to cover in man-to-man coverage, but also he's a physical player. He's going to affect our team in so many different aspects along with the special teams as well.
And you talked about winning back-to-back state championships. How important is it just to have that mentality of a player coming in from a winning program?
Oh, that's one of the things that Coach Buckley likes to look at, is that we like to look at as guys that have been around successful programs that know what it takes day in and day out, just on a practice level and just on knowing how to win and being in big game situations. When they step out here on Thursday night, they're going to have been in those times a lot before. That's something we really like.
One more DB out of Perry Central, local guy as well, Jalen Scott.
Yeah, Jalen is coming from Perry Central. He's gonna be a developmental guy that's come in really explosive. He reminds me a lot of Javian Hamilton out of high school. And Javian really came along as the year went on. And Jalen's going to be able to help us in special teams as well too.
Yeah. Special teams, transition right into that. Got a couple of pretty good kicker punter combinations here. One out of Purvis, Brady Farlow.
Yes, sir. Brady, he's a really good kicker. Didn't get to kick many field goals at Purvis, but he was perfect for when he did kick. Doesn't miss much. Got a great leg. Very accurate. Really good kid. We're excited about him.
Just under 40 yards a punt, but didn't miss a kick all year. 28 out of 28 in point after attempts, and then, as you said, didn't miss a field goal. 6 out of 6 in field goals.
6 out of 6. Yes, sir. Very accurate.
So that's something to look forward to. Another high quality special teams player out of Jackson Prep, Taylor Wallace, averaged right at 42 yards a punt.
Yeah, Taylor was a really good punter. Something we're very excited about with him is the fact that he can kick. So if anything happens, where we need a emergency kicker, Taylor can step in and do that. But he is a great punter. We're really excited about him. The experience he got at Jackson Prep is definitely something we're looking forward to.
All right, talk about your recruits and your position players there. Let's talk a little bit about your experience at Jones so far.
It's been really good. I've been here a little over a month. I grew up in Hattiesburg, and so I've always known about Jones, but I've never been here this long.
Yeah.
And so it's a great place, family atmosphere, small college, but it's got kind of a big time feel, and everybody wants to really be successful here.
And this is the man that puts out all the tweets as well. So just follow.
Speaking of, he said one about him dancing at Target the other day on a commit. None of us were there. We'd like to see it.
Do you have footage of that?
I don't, but my wife can confirm that.
Well, we need to get video next time, so we can put that out over JCTV.
We'll do that.
Coach Richard Chambliss, Coach Chip Bilderback, thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
We'll be back
thank
right after this short break with a couple of more assistant coaches, so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the 2016 Bobcat football special. I'm being joined now by assistant head coach and wide receiver coach John Carr, and the quarterback coach Cole Weeks, and a couple of USM guys have made the journey up about 20 miles up I-59 to be a part of the Bobcat family. Welcome to Jones. Hadn't had a chance to speak with you very much as you've been out on the road, and I have not been out on the road, but put a lot of miles in, I'm sure. Start with you, Coach Carr. Been in this game a long time. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, originally from Louisiana, North Louisiana, went to Louisiana Tech, and from there coached high school ball for 17 years. The last 8 of them were, I was a head coach at Washita High School in Monroe, Louisiana, and then I went and spent some time at East Mississippi Community College, went back to Louisiana, and then spent the last 3 years at Southern Miss. I was director of football operations there, and then of course got to know Steve Buckley during my time there. We became very good friends, close. Our wives are close, our kids are close, and then when he got the job here, it was an opportunity to get back on the field, coach again, and I'm fired up.
Good. Cole, I know you came from Southern, quarterback there a few years ago,
Yes,
a couple
sir.
years ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems like about 6 years ago, but no, I played quarterback at Southern Miss for about 4 years, and then last year I was a graduate assistant there, working with Coach Lindsay and the quarterbacks, and actually Coach Buckley coached me in 2012, so know him from that experience, and it was a really good feeling when he wanted to come here with
Yeah,
him.
good transition there.
Yes,
I got a couple quarterbacks that were
Mhm.
signed, one local guy, then one out of the Hattiesburg area, at Oak
Correct.
Grove.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that two-time defending state champion in Dietrich Hawthorne.
Yeah, Dietrich, he's the first thing you're going to know when you get him, he's a competitor. I mean, obviously you're getting a guy who can win football games for you, and something that's really big, and I believe in, Coach Buckley believe in, that it's a winner, someone who can, he competes real hard. But aside from that, he's a talented kid, can run it and throw it. A dual threat, but he can throw it though. So he's a really good passer, accurate. And he told me he can throw it about 80 yards. I'm gonna test that and see what we got when fall camp comes around. But he's a really good player. I'm really excited to have him on board.
Yeah.
So.
I remember watching the state championship game with Dietrich and that last tying drive, and they were down pretty much the whole second half,
Mhm.
but just the mentality and the winner's mentality that he has, that,
Oh, yeah.
that he drove them down to get the tie and to get the win right there.
Yeah, you like that in the quarterback. You never feel like you're out of it when you have a guy like that. He's always going to compete and always going to keep going. So it's really good to have a competitor like him.
Yeah, we go from a 3A quarterback to a 6A quarterback, and Oak Grove's Alex Ward saw him play a time or two this year, a fine passer and runs that spread offense
No
as
doubt.
well.
Alex was someone when I first got here. I'd heard his name being at Southern Miss and being around Hattiesburg. Heard his name a little bit. Got here, watched his film, and I was really impressed with his ability to process the football game and be able to go from receiver to receiver and get you in the right spot, make the right decision for you. So he's a kid who's also a competitor and a winner, but he also understands what he's doing on the football field, and he processes very well. Mentally, he understands football really well. So.
He goes from a guy that tutored him a little bit, Brett Favre, to you. He stepped up his game.
No
now,
doubt. I
hasn't
mean,
he? Right?
Brett obviously doesn't have the arm or the talent I have, so he's going to get a little bit better experience with me, hopefully.
There you go. Glad to have you here, Cole.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
John, receivers coach, got some big guys to throw it to. Got some guys who can throw it. Got to be excited about the kids that have signed already. 6'4", 6'2", athletes, quick, speed, and size.
That's right. Those 6 guys, what we wanted to try to do was get length. We wanted guys that could stretch the field, but also body type wise. From receiver standpoint, you hear people talk about catch radius. You want guys that be able to catch the ball away from the body, catch the balls in traffic. We got some guys there that are long, athletic guys that can run, and fired up about all 6 guys. We really hit on all 6 of them. Those were the guys that we wanted. Of course, Trevor's here already. And so the other 5 is going to join, and we're going to get big guys who are going to be impact players right away.
Now, one of those from St. Martin, Caleb Clark. St. Martin had a fine team this year, the last couple of years, and a lot of it had to do with Caleb's play.
Yeah, Caleb's a great route runner. Again, he's one of those guys that can take the top off. He's a stretch down the field guy. And again, long arms, long legs, can really eat up some ground. And again, and it's the right caliber character kid.
Yeah, big kid from Crystal Springs. It's a 6'4", 200-pounder, Jericho Morris.
To me, the best receiver in the state of Mississippi from a standpoint of body type, competitive nature, what he can do with the football in his hands in space, physical player on the perimeter. Again, always got a smile on his face when he came here on his visit. You look around and he just glowed. You could tell from the day one that he stepped on this campus on his visit
that he and Joey Jones, I think the culture here and the home field atmosphere, we felt like from day one we had a chance with him.
Yeah. More of a slot receiver type player, maybe a 5'8", 170 Daquan Smith from Macomb.
Yeah, very explosive, speed sweep guy, get the ball on the perimeter, catch a lot of bubbles and try to get him out in space. And again, another one I think that's going to be dynamic.
Oak Grove, 6'1", Kendall Parham.
Yep, another one, good stretch the field, great route runner. Again, him and Alex did a lot of good things there at Oak Grove, and again, we're going to continue to recruit that school hard. And anytime we can get players out of Oak Grove, we're going to take advantage of that.
Great athlete, one of the best in the state, two-way player out of Meridian. Saw him play a couple of times this year. Travis Reed.
Yeah, we was on his visit. We kind of nicknamed him Slash. He plays a lot of corner, and then also plays receiver as well. Again, catches the ball away from his body extremely well. Very, very quiet kid, just hard worker. And again, you can mesh those 6 guys together. We're going to be able to put some playmakers out on the perimeter.
That's what it's all about in this league, isn't it?
You better make plays.
Got to have playmakers to make plays. We've got some out in the perimeter and quarterbacks together in football.
No doubt.
All right, so that's our receivers and quarterbacking, our quarterback recruits that we have signed so far. Coach Cole Week, Coach John Carr, we appreciate y'all joining us, stopping by for a few minutes this morning, and again, welcome to the Jones family.
Thank you.
Coach Weeks, Coach Carr. We'll be back in a short second after this quick break and have a couple more of our assistant coaches up with us to talk about their recruits. Welcome back to the 2016 Bobcat football recruiting special. I'm being joined now by assistant coach and defensive line coach Anthony Maddox. Coach Maddox has been here for a few years, played here a number of years ago, fighting Okra as I wasn't on the football field at Delta State like you, but 2 Delta State grads up here, so we may talk a little longer than we have anybody else. But looking at this list, Coach, I know you've got to be excited with the defensive linemen and linebackers that we've got on this list. There's some playmakers there. As you said, it's good players make good coaches,
right.
And looking on paper, you're going to be a good coach this year.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is the best group that I've had, and this is going on my 7th season here.
Yeah.
And this is by far the best group of guys that I've had that's going to play for me this year. So I'm excited about it. I may be able to just sit back and drink coffee during practice, with these guys.
Yeah. Let's talk about the 2 linebackers here. Both of them high school teammates from West Jones, local guys, and these 2 keyed their defense, which is solid again. Larry Keys and Brendan Young.
Yeah, we're definitely excited about those guys. They are local guys. They are Jones County guys, and we wanted to try to get our guys from our district to come back to Jones. So we're excited about those 2 guys. Larry was a guy that, whenever Coach Buckley came in, we reevaluated our players, and he was a guy that we thought was one of our top guys at that position. So we're excited to get him. And Brandon Young, of course, he's a smaller defensive end, but can rush the quarterback on 3rd down. So 2 talented kids that we're going to get from our district that we are super excited about.
We've already mentioned the kids we got here at Christmas, Marquise Ford and Marcus Ford and Javon Kinlaw. Speak real quickly about them. Coach Buckley's already mentioned them a little bit.
Both of those guys are, I think, SEC type of football players. Ford has been at Rutgers. He's a smaller guy that can rush the passer, that has a lot of abilities. So we're excited about him. Smart kid as well, so I think he'll do a good job for us. Kinlaw is probably one of the biggest kids I've seen.
Yeah.
And he's a great kid, has a soft heart, but at the same time, he's a great football player. And I think he's a guy that can play on Sundays one day if he just comes here and do what he's capable of doing. So excited about him as well.
They talk about a big guy there. Got a late pickup before we went on the air this morning. Big guy, 6'6", 320, 330, out of Meridian, Raekwon Davis.
Yeah, definitely. That's huge. We made some toasts down there whenever his facts came through. He's a guy that I know Buckley had worked extremely hard to get, and we excited. He's going to do big things for us. You got Kinlaw and you got Big Boy inside right there. It just makes everything so much easier.
And some of these guys that has size like this, you look at them and they're not really as strong as they need to be. These people, they aren't fat. They're strong.
No, they're ready to go right now. And I think those are 2 guys that I know that has the ability to play on Sundays. So just having the chance, the opportunity to coach those guys is going to be huge for me.
And it may be some of the people that throughout the state recognize names of these people we've mentioned, but there's some of these that you may not know about that are just as good of players. And one of these being a former USM commit out of Harrison Central, Jordan Beaton.
Oh yeah, Jordan Beaton. I mean, he's a state champion in powerlifting. He's an extremely smart kid, hard-nosed football player. I mean, I don't know that he's just as good as the guys that we just named. Just not as big, but great football player as well.
Another teammate of his out of Harrison Central, Michael Boyce.
Yeah, Michael's the same type of kid, high energy, high motor type of kid. So, I think he'll do well for us as well.
Off the coast as well, out of St. Martin, Jamon Dixon.
Jamon is a big kid, 6'3", very talented kid. He's going to do great things here for us, our program. So we're excited about him as well.
Out of Raymond High School, just outside of Jackson, Kobe Ragland, 6'6", 283.
Kobe's a big kid. I think he scored 29 ACT. Very smart kid. Wants to be an engineer or something like that. Great football player, man. I'm just, that whole list of guys, it gives me chills to just know that those guys are coming in.
One more off of Highway 98 in East Marion, D. Foxworth.
D. Foxworth's great player. Great player. All of those guys are really good players. I think I may have the best group of guys on the team, so looking forward to it.
Talk about the recruiting process real quick. You played here with Delta State, played in the NFL for a few years. Knowing what you can teach those guys, that's got to play a big factor in convincing them to come to Jones, knowing they'll be able to practice under you, get some instruction and direction from you of what it takes to get to the next level.
Right, yeah. A lot of those kids, I can relate to those guys. We come from similar backgrounds, and their goals are, of course, is to play in the NFL. So just with a lot of the experience that I've had, the route that I had to take, I played here at Jones, and I was able to go on and play at Delta State and played in the NFL. So those guys look at me and say that, if you can do it, Coach,
right.
I know I can do the same thing. So it's one of those deals where I feel like I'm mentoring kids. I'm doing something that I really enjoy doing, but I'm getting paid to do it at the same time. So it's a lot of fun, man, and I'm excited. And I have at least 4 or 5 guys on that group that I'm sure will play on Sundays one day. No doubt in my mind.
Got it done as a player, and now he's getting it done as a coach here, and we look for big things out of this group, and I know you do as well.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate Coach Maddox stopping by and joining the broadcast for a few minutes here, and good luck next year. We look forward to seeing these guys perform on the field.
Thanks.
All right, so we will take another short break, come back with a couple more assistant coaches, and be back with this recruiting special 2016 Bobcat edition right after this break. Welcome back to the Bobcat 2016 recruiting special. Being joined now on the podium by a couple of very new coaches here. Been here a week, so talking about getting to know the lay of the land in a hurry. These guys have done it. Coach Alec Willis, he's going to be the assistant offensive line and assistant strength coach, and Coach Javier Gonzalez, he'll be the tight ends coach. So literally, getting to know the recruits is what y'all have got to do. But tell us a little bit about what you've been doing. I know you just graduated in December from Central Arkansas, is that correct?
Yes, sir. I just got done playing center for the past 3 years.
And who was the head coach at Central Arkansas?
Steve Campbell. He was at Gulf Coast before that.
Steve Campbell. Yep, that's a name that is well known throughout the junior college system here in Mississippi and the Southeast as a coaching legend, I guess. He led Delta State to their only national championship. So anytime I get a plug in for Delta State, I'm going to do it. Since I went there back about 30 some odd years ago playing basketball. But tell us about your experience playing for Coach Campbell there, 4-year player at Central Arkansas.
Yeah, I played 3 years as the center, offensive, anywhere on the offensive line my freshman year. Coach Campbell was actually my position coach, so I learned a lot from him, and just ready to do some of the things that he taught me here.
A Denton, Texas native.
Yes, sir.
First time here on the campus was not long ago. Obviously, you've been here for a week, but how do you like Jones so far?
I'm liking it a lot. This is very different for me. It's a smaller town, so it's just something I got to get used to, but I'm liking it.
But football's football, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So looking forward to the spring practice, I'm sure, and getting some of these recruits in the summer and working with them. So welcome to Jones. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Coach Willis. Coach Gonzalez.
Yes, sir.
Native of Illinois.
Yes, sir.
Been coaching for 9-10 years, 2006, I think. Was at Southern at one time, and tell us a little bit about your past.
Yeah, I'm from Joliet, Illinois. I started my coaching career at the high school ranks. From there on, I was fortunate enough to go into the college ranks at Joliet Junior College. from there, I moved on to Wofford College in South Carolina, and was fortunate enough again to make a move to University of Southern Mississippi, where I was there for 2 years, and most recently I was the outside linebackers coach at Brevard College in North Carolina.
Okay. So you guys hadn't had time to unpack yet. Been here a week.
Not yet, still working on it.
Imagine the unpacking is going to come after the
Yes.
learning names and recruits and all that. But,
Yes, sir.
well, it's a pleasure to have you here. I know we're blessed to have you here as on our coaching staff, and you'll do a great job here. Look forward to seeing you guys work with these guys that you'll be coaching play next fall.
Sir.
Welcome to Jones, and anything we do for you,
Thank you.
we're here to help
Appreciate
you.
it.
All right,
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, that's Coach Willis, Coach Gonzalez, just a couple more new faces here on the coaching staff here at Jones County Junior College. We're going to take our last break here. We'll come back in just a second with Coach Steve Buckley to wrap things up and talk about the offensive line and running backs and the whole class as a whole, recruiting class as a whole. I know there's some more that's been added as we've gone through these breaks, and we'll talk about a few of those as well. So stay tuned. We'll be back right after this break. Welcome back to the 2016 Bobcat Recruiting Special, being joined again by Head Coach Steve Buckley. In this last segment, we'll talk about the offensive line and the running backs that we have signed so far, and then recap the whole hour. But as we've talked with each individual assistant coach that's been here today and called out these players and recruits' names, got to be pleased with what we've gotten. And as we go to the offensive line and running backs, same thing holds true. Let's look at those running backs first. Local kid right across the Highway 11 here in South Jones, Scotty Phillips. Well, he had a great senior year after being injured his junior year, but that's a big pickup there.
No question, Mark, and Scotty was a guy that was a priority for us since day one. You know, when we started evaluating the running backs, we watched 6 plays of him and shut it off and said, that's the guy we want, and I'm serious. He's a guy that we think is explosive. He's got great body control out of the backfield, outstanding hands, very intelligent kid, played in a system that's very similar to ours already with Corey Reynolds at South Jones, and Corey and I worked together at Pedal for 5 years. But I think Scotty's got a chance, and Rashad too. Rashad Green from Bassfield, 2 outstanding running backs. A lot of similarities between the two. They've both been in good programs. You look at Bassfield, what they've done, back-to-back state championships, and Rashad's been a huge part of that. Over 1,000-yard rusher, 190 pounds. Just brings a lot to the table.
You've got 2 good running backs there. Then look at the beef on that offensive line that we've signed that could open up holes for these guys. Out of Van Cleve, Cal Baker, 6'4", 285.
You know, I think Cal's about 300 now, and just an outstanding character kid, very intelligent in the classroom, hard worker, plays center, could be a guard, could do a lot of things.
Out of Laurel, local guy Malik Cooley, big youngin as well, 6'6".
You know, 6'6", long. He's what you look for is a developmental left tackle, but Malik's got to develop quickly because he's got to play quickly for us. You know, I think he has a tremendous upside, great feet, great athleticism, but his length is just very intriguing.
Again, out of that successful program, won the state
question.
championship 2 years ago, but same style as what we'll play here.
Absolutely, no doubt.
Out of Oak Grove, big pickup here, 315, Nick Vines.
Yeah, we're going to try to get Nick to, I think Nick's 324 to be honest with you. About 6'5", 324. Nick needs to get 295, 290 and start over. But what a great kid, great academics, been in a background with Coach Causey that will do a lot of the same things that we do. You know, just an outstanding pickup for us.
Out of Prentice High School, Andrew Smith.
Andrew Smith, undersized kid, but you know, we like Andrew as a center guard type. Very athletic kid. Probably needs to gain some quick weight, probably 30 pounds, but another character kid that has a tremendous upside.
Out of Madison Central, Dylan Desper.
Dylan Desper, you know, his brother's a starting offensive guard at Mississippi State. Dylan's probably 6'4", 6'5". I think you've got him at 265, but Dylan is another kid. We think he's a right tackle. We love his length. And Melvin Hollins, the center from Forest Hill. You look at Melvin and Cal Baker, they were the 2 guys that we just felt like we had to have at center. Melvin's an intelligent kid, I think 24, 25 on the test, can make all the calls up front. You know, he's been in a system where they challenge their center to make calls, and that's important to us. And then Jermaine Scott out of Meridian, 6'1", 300 pound, does not look 300, looks like he's about 260. Great feet, explosive athlete.
Going through the list, offense, defensive side, looking at the size of these guys, with the weight and the height and weight, a lot of times, I mentioned this to Coach Maddox, they appear to be fat, but most of these people on here, they're strong, it's muscle.
You know, and that's, you take the kid from Goose Creek, Javon Kinlaw, you know, he's 6'7", he's 294, and if you looked at him, you'd say he's probably 265. So it's the right kind of weight is what we're looking for, and I think that's what you're alluding to, Mark. And you know, offensive line, defensive line, I think we did a tremendous job, and our staff did, of making some adjustments there. Did we talk about the kickers and punters?
We did.
Okay, just want to make sure we didn't leave those two guys out, because a lot of times we forget about that. And
until it's that last second, you got to make a field goal. Or
those guys are not noticed until they mess up. But we're happy to have Brady and Taylor both aboard too.
Got two quality folks there, and as we look at all the positions, all the recruits, I think, as we said this in our opening segment, got to be pleased with the class. Still expecting to see a few, always lose some as well. That's part of the recruiting process.
And Mark, I'll be honest, you know, we went hard. We went hard for the last 8 weeks, really 6 weeks on the road. You know, you win some and you lose some. I learned a long time ago, worry about the ones that you can get, not worry about the ones that are gone. We lost a couple on signing day that we really, really wanted, but I understand that. You know, I'm not going to say we're in a rebuilding stage. We might have been six weeks ago. This place is rebuilt. We're going to win, and we're going to win fast. I'm not going to talk about how many games we're going to win and who we're going to beat, but we're going to be a winning program. And the kids that we lost, that type kid next year and the next year will be wanting to come to Jones, and that's our goal.
Yeah, and that's what a bunch of winners on this sheet of paper I'm looking at come from successful programs, had a lot of success in the high school level. That's going to transition on this level as well.
It is, and that's very important to me. I've been a high school coach for 10 years. It's funny, you go in and a lot of the guys are friends, and I have good friends that are in the junior college system too. And you know, you're competing against each other in recruiting, and you don't want to coach a high school coach. As a high school coach, I never told a kid where to go, and I would never ask a high school coach to tell a kid where to go. And I think that's very important. You got relationships that you've established over the years. I think the high school coaches know what we're going to be about, and that's very important to us. And you know, you mentioned that high school football in Mississippi is well coached. The coaches that are our friends, the ones that we don't know, you look at their programs and what they do, and I think that's important. You take kids that have been in solid programs, and then I want to say one more thing about our staff, Mark. We came in hustling, and you know, I can't say enough about our staff, what we've done, and I couldn't have done it by myself. You take our guys, John Carr, Cole Weeks, Anthony Maddox, Chip Builderback, William Pegler, Javier Gonzalez, Alex. I'm leaving somebody else. Alex Willis and Richard Chambers. You know, we all jumped in with a bunch of unselfish bodies. You can only have 4 on the road. It didn't matter who was out. We worked phones. We did our research, and I can't thank those guys enough.
That hard work has paid off today and will continue to pay off.
And one more, Tara Weishire. I'm probably the only guy in the country that's got a female recruiting coordinator. And Tara came in, and she's at the office right now manning everything. She does a great job, and she was instrumental, as instrumental as any of us in this whole process.
She's behind the scenes running everything today.
Absolutely.
She and Tyler Cook behind the camera here and behind the fax machine over there
No
in the
question.
coach's office. But of course, a lot of new faces here on that staff. But as you said, hit the ground running, new faces, but members of the Bobcat family now. And it's a great time to be a Bobcat.
No question.
And next fall, this signing class will be out there in that cardinal and gold, and we will see how they have panned out. And on paper, they look really good. We look forward to seeing their development in their 2 years here.
Thank you very much, Mark.
That's head coach Steve Buckley. I'm Mark Easley. For all the folks here today, Tyler Cook, appreciate you directing and producing the program here on JCTV. That'll wrap it up from here on the campus of Jones County Junior College. It's been an exciting morning, and we will continue to get some names and faxes in this afternoon, I'm sure, and in the days ahead as the recruiting process is still going on as we look to fill all those spots that we need to fill the next fall. So for Coach Buckley, Mark Easley, appreciate you joining us here for this 2016 Bobcat Recruiting Special. Until next time, you've been watching the special right here on JCJC TV.